Good morning and welcome to Congregation of Reim's weekly meditation Minyan small group today. Those of you here with me on Zoom today know who I am. For anybody watching afterwards on YouTube, I am Daphne Steinberg. I'm a Reim congregant and I am today's meditation leader for our small group. A parable. There once was a man who stood before God, his heart breaking from the pain and injustice in the world. Dear God, he cried out, look at all the suffering, the anguish and distress in your world. Why don't you send help? God responded, I did. I sent you. The Talmud, which is the primary source of Jewish religious law, states that a person should recite 100 brachot, or blessings, a day. At its most basic, a bracha is an acknowledgement of God's good work in our lives. Think about that for a minute. We're supposed to recognize God's effort on our behalf 100 times a day. That seems like a pretty substantial amount of time thinking about God. Wouldn't you agree? But there's always a but. This Sunday, as most of you know, we will celebrate Purim, the holiday that commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from annihilation. We will dress up, eat hamantashen, and read the book of Esther, also known as the Megillah. In Reflections on Purim, Rabbi Brad Horowitz, director of Jewish engagement at the St. Louis J, points out that in the Megillah, God's name is not mentioned even once. It is the action of the Jewish heroes, Esther and Mordecai, that save the Jewish people and not God, he writes. One lesson we can learn from this is that we should not wait for God to perform supernatural miracles, as in the story of the Exodus, but that we as human beings are responsible for our own destiny. A different interpretation suggests that though God is not explicitly mentioned, God is indeed present. When Mordecai instructs Esther to speak with King Ahasuerus about Haman's edict to kill the Jews, he says, do not imagine that you, of all the Judeans, will escape this decree in the house of the king. For if you withhold your help at this time, relief and deliverance will come from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. That's from the book of Esther, chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. One of God's Hebrew names is Hamakom, which means the place. So some people posit that the idea of deliverance coming from, quote, another place, close quote, means that God would have stepped in had Esther not done so. Rabbi Nina Beth Cardin, who I checked is no relation to Senator Ben Cardin, combines the two ideas of our independence and God helping. She writes, Purim teaches us that God will no longer intervene for us and save us, at least not obviously and supernaturally. It says that God will be silent, but not inactive. God will work through us in our daily lives, and any one of us, indeed every one of us, can become an instrument of God for good and not for evil. Rabbi Horowitz says that since we are created in God's image, we are partners with God in controlling our own fate. While some aspects of life are out of our control, we play a role in determining the direction of our lives as individuals and as a community. At this time, we will prepare to sit quietly. Allow your breathing to deepen and slow down, and let your body relax and your gaze soften. As we meditate silently for the next 13 minutes, I invite you to reflect on this comment from American icon, Mr. Rogers. My mother used to say, whenever there would be a catastrophe, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers. If you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope. Enjoy your meditation, friends. Friends, our period of silent reflection is over. Start bringing your attention back to your surroundings, slowly opening your eyes and moving your body around a little bit to awaken your circulatory system. To prepare to move into our prayer and discussion period, I would like to offer a blessing for everyone. In these times of conflict, may Purim be a source of light and hope, and may Esther's courage be an inspiration as you move through the world today and every day. Thank you for joining me. This ends our meditation.